Welcome to 100 Days of Python. I'm Bill Mosley, and we are going through 100 Days of Coding in Python. And you can code along with me and learn a lot about the Python language. Today we are starting on day 32, and we will pick up where we left off here from day 31. You can find the listing here at my website at billmosley or bmosley.com/HDP. And if I take a look at day 31, this is our finished code from that day. And we are working on an employee database application. And here's our code so far. You can see that we've got our data structure built here. We've got a basic menu with 2 items in it so far. And we've got a function here that generates a new employee ID, a function that uses that right here to generate the ID as part of the add employee function. And then we've got our main program here with a little welcome header showing the menu. And then, of course, the basic structure at this point. But we will add to this as we go. And that's where we're at so far. So let's start adding some features. The first thing I want to do is I want to make this program a little bit more usable by creating a loop that makes the program run until we exit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add option 9 here, and it's going to say exit the program. And then down here, we have to have something to exit. So all of this code, I'm going to select and tab to indent it 1 space. And then I'm going to throw a while true loop, which of course will loop forever until we break out of it. And then the last thing I want to do is I'm going to copy this code, paste it, change option to 9, and then we are going to use break. And that will allow us, when somebody chooses 9 from the menu up here, to exit the program. And then maybe at the very end here, I'll say, thanks for using my program. So if we test that out, there's our database program. So we could add an employee, terminate an employee, but when we're ready to exit the program, we're just going to hit 9, and it'll say, thanks for using my program, and it will exit. And everything else will continue until we choose to exit the program. So that makes it a little bit more usable. The next thing I want to do is create, because when we want to terminate an employee, we are going to want to list all of the employees that are there so they can see which employee they want to terminate or see the ID of the employee that they want to terminate. So let's create another function here called list employees. So def list emp ought to be enough. I don't need to type employee. And then we'll say emp data inside there. And so the first thing we want to do is we want to list all of the employees. So the way we do that would be to iterate through them. So I'm going to say for key in emp data, and so that will cycle through all of the keys in the main data structure, and it will return each one of these in turn. So what I can do with that is I can use that to print everything I want to print. So if I wanted to do this, starting the easiest way possible, I'm just going to create an F string here, and I'm going to say ID is key, and then I'm going to do the emp data key, and that selects the record. And then, of course, I'm going to, and I want to alternate. If I have something in double quotes, I'm going to put it in single quotes inside there. But that will return and insert the employee's first name. Okay, so there's that. And then if I want to do that quickly, I can just copy and paste that for the last name. And then I can space over a couple and I can say, let's, we don't need their email. Let's do their age. And then a couple more over and we will use their salary in that last spot. And so if I run this, or let's first, we're going to add that as a menu option. So let's put it as option 8. I kind of want to work from the bottom up here on that one. List employees, and then we need to add option 8 here, copy. Let's keep these in order so it's easier to track what's going on. List imp, and we have our data. So there is that option. I'll throw a little bit of white space in here just to break things up a little bit. But let's run this and see how it goes. So we want to list the employees. Okay, so there is my list of employees. Not bad, but a couple of things I want to do. First thing is I want to put a line in between these where I have a space. So it's going to print a little bit of space first. The other thing I want to do is I want to make sure that these numbers line up. And there's a real easy way to do that. So let's go back into our code here. And the first thing I want to do is let's print. I'm just going to print one extra line in there, just an empty line to give it a little space. And then I want to break this up into multiple strings. So I'm going to put some quotes here. And each one of these strings needs to be labeled as an F string independently. So if I just start putting it together like this, then it will continue to work exactly the same way that it did before. But now I can start doing some things with these strings. So let's go ahead and with each of these F strings now, I'm going to use ljust and rjust to space them out. So this one's going to be an ljust, and I'll put that with a space of 10. And then we're going to ljust the name, and we need to probably give that about 30 because that's going to be the longest part of the string. And then numbers should be right justified, although most of our numbers presumably in an employment database would be 2 digits. I'm just going to give them all 5. And then the final part, salary, let's go rjust again, and we'll go 15. So 15 plus 5 is 20, plus 30 is 50, plus 10 is 60. So that's a good 60 length line. Came out to a nice size, and let's run that and see how that looks now. So if I choose list employees, you can see everything lines up very nicely with plenty of space there. So that's really great. And now we can get ready to terminate an employee. Okay, I know that sounds not as exciting, but we need to include that in the menu there. So we'll say we've got terminate employee already there, so that's good. And we just need to create that function now. So we'll have def term emp, and again we're giving it that emp data as our parameter, so we can use that inside. And now the first thing we want to do is we are going to print a blank line, and then we're going to say here are the employees. And then we're going to list employees, print who would you like to terminate? Let's go ahead and throw another line there in front of that. And then we are going to say str ID is input, enter the ID here. Okay, so we'll have them enter the ID, and now we're just going to use that ID to terminate the employee. So the first thing we want to do is we want to say if str ID in emp data. Want to make sure it exists first. If it doesn't exist in there, we're going to print this ID doesn't exist. And we are going to, if the ID exists, we're going to remove that ID. So we're going to say DEMP terminated equals EMP data.pop, and we're going to give it str ID. That's going to return a dictionary object that contains this. So it returns this data. Let's say Dave was terminated and I give it emp2. The pop will return this data. So now I can give that feedback. So we're going to say print f string. We're going to say DEMPT. F name. And then we'll do the same for last name. Lots of copy and paste to save me some time here. Was terminated. And then all we have to do is return the data structure that we have without that. So EMP data, we're going to return EMP data. And that is our terminated employee. So we're going to add that here. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that what we do is we're going to return that data structure, and come to think of it, we got to do it here too. We're going to say DEMP equals, we're using self-assignment here to put that new and improved data structure back into that that original variable, so that when we update the data structure, it replaces what's in there already. So we're going to say terminate employee, DEMP, just like that. So let's run this and give it a shot and see how it works. So we've got add an employee. Let's add Susie Smith, 34, fake email, and a fake salary. Let's list the employees. Okay, there are employees. And we've got one little glitchy thing here that we want to take care of. And the way we would take care of that is by putting a formatted code here at the very end on salary. So we want to say point to F, just like that on there, and that will take care of that. Make sure that's 2 zeros after the decimal point. But for now, let's continue on here, and let's terminate an employee. And my gosh, Susie is making a lot of money here, so let's terminate her. So EMP3, and it says Susie Smith was terminated. And let's list the employees, make sure. You can see now Susie is out. So that is how that works. So let's run this really quick and let's add an employee like Susie here, but with a 0 at the end of their salary. So we're adding an employee, D. The most important thing is the salary here, and the salary is a round number. So if I list the employees, there we go. Now you can see that that's been forced to format to the 2 zeros. And that's it for today. We'll pick up next time and add a few more features to our program here, but that's it for this one.